but you must.
Well, that leaves 7. 8. The same number it always is.
Well, I took it for granted that Margot wouldn't have it.
Why not? I don't think a little piece of cake will harm her.
8. All right, 8.
And please, Mrs. Frank should cut you. She divides things a little bit better.
What are you saying? Don't I always give everyone the same amount?
Yes. Except Mr. Von Don always gets a little bit more.
Now just a minute!
Please. Do you see how worked up we get over a little spice cake, Meep?
Here, Mrs. Frank, you cut.
Oh, Eve, that smell. You're sure you won't have any? Thank you, but I have to leave in a minute.
Oh, Meep should. Jan is lucky to have a woman who can bake like this.
Jan! Tell us about Jan. Jan's taking me to a party tonight. A party? Oh, we remember everything so you can tell us about it tomorrow. Everyone you danced with? Jan. Only with Jan. Oh, I seem to have forgotten something. Or someone. For me? Well, what is it? Suspense is killing me. Meep, they're wonderful. How did you ever get them?
Can't even get a slipper on the black market these days.
And look, they match. Incredible.
All dressed up and ready for Hollywood.
Enjoy it, man. And please don't worry. I'll give you all a full report tomorrow.
Meep, there's something I'd like you to do for me.
What? What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
What is it?
He wants to sell her fur coat.
But it isn't my coat. I have to go for 17 years. My father gave me this coat. You have no right. Let go.
You have to give it up.
Please let go.
You can't keep a fur coat when people are in such desperate need for warm clothing. Besides, we're broke. We've been running out of money for months. I have to sell it.
Mrs. Frank? Oh, me. I remember when a new year was something to look forward to. Mrs. Frank, you mustn't give up hope. There's no hope to be had. I know that. I knew it the night Hitler came to power and that awful voice came screaming over the radio. I sat there paralyzed. And in London, what is the Dutch Queen doing? What are they all doing? They won't even mention the word Jew. And every day the trains are leaving for the east. Why don't they bomb the tracks? I can't talk about this with the others, Meep. I understand, Mrs. Frank. Sometimes I just wish I could give myself up. Mrs. Frank, forgive me, but you must try and take things a little easier. They need you. The children need you. Thank you, Meep, for listening.
We have no money. Can you get that through your head?
Don't talk to her like that.
That coat was the last thing I had. A whole world gone.
You have us, don't you?
My father gave me that coat.
Oh, here we go again. We have to hear about your father. If you weren't so attached to your father, your coat, our apartment with all of our goddamn possessions, we'd be in America by now.
That is not her fault.
Oh, please, it was you too, you know.
I say because of you. Believe me, I knew which way the wind was blowing.
Oh, yeah? Because you know everything.
Mother, please stop.
Your mother will never listen.
If I could just say one thing. No, you cannot. You say too much anyway. It's none of your business.
You shouldn't have said that, Mother.
What?
You hurt her feelings.
Oh. Well, I apologize. I apologize, all right? To everyone!
You left this.
Thank you.
Sorry for what happened in there. I wish I could have said something, but they just make me feel so. I just can't stand it when they. I mean, sometimes I wish I didn't belong to them at all. I hope I never turn out like them.
You won't. Trust me.
Like him. What if I'm like him?
You're not. Believe me.
All I can say is, I mean, if it wasn't for you, you're always a big help to me.
I am? How?
When you're cheerful, it keeps me from being depressed.
I'm not always so cheerful, you know. Inside.
Really?
It's hard. When you want to cry or something, there's nowhere to go.
It's easier for me, I guess. If there's a fight with my parents, I just duck into my room.
You're lucky to have a room of your own.
Yeah, well, at least you can talk to your parents.
Not really. I never discuss anything serious with Mother. She just doesn't understand. I can't talk about anything with Father. Except Mother. I just don't think you can really be intimate with someone when they're holding something back. Do you?
I think your father's terrific.
He likes you too.
Do you think so?
I can tell from the little things he says. It's funny, isn't it?
What?
We've been living here for over a year, and it's the first real conversation we've ever really had.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know something, Peter?
What's that?
I've never had a true friend. Someone I could really confide in.
Me neither. Smile for me.
Why?
You have dimples when you smile.
Dimples. The only mark of beauty I possess.
That's not true. You're pretty.
Me?
Yes. You.
war ever be over?
Or it'd be over a lot sooner if the goddamn British started the invasion.
Please, not tonight. The British are fighting for their lives. They'll do something when the time is right.
When the time is right, we're all dead and buried to me. It's amazing how strong those Germans are.
Oh, it's amazing how strong those Germans are. They're so strong, they're going to win the war. Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm just saying they very well might. British don't get a move on.
They're moving, for crying out loud! 2,000 tons of bombs dropped on the Hamburg last Sunday. Isn't that enough for you?
No!
Then how many bombs do you need?
Enough so we don't have to worry about going to Poland.
Mr. Dussel, please! Margaret was waiting!
Mr. Dussel, Mr. Dussel, the line is forming again!
Do you think I like spending my life in there?
Mr. Crawler.
I'm sorry to come in this hour, but something has happened.
What is it?
I must ask you to be more careful, more quiet.
What's happened?
A man, a few days ago in the storeroom, he came up to me and he asked, "What do you hear of Mr. Frank?" I said I'd heard rumor you were in Switzerland. He said he'd heard that too, but he thought I might know something more. Then today, while I was in the office signing invoices, I looked up and saw him staring at the bookcase.
Oh, God.
He said he thought he remembered a doorway there. Then he said he wanted more money. 10 more guilders a month.
What? 10 guilders a month? It's very modest blackmail.
Just the beginning.
What did you tell him?
I said I would have to think about it. What should I do? Should I pay him the money? Take a chance.
For God's sakes, pay him the money!
Offer him half. Then we'll find out if it's blackmail or not.
Listen, maybe he knows nothing, but things are getting too dangerous out there. I must ask you to be more careful. You must be more quiet. I'll offer him half then.
Thank you, Mr. Crawler.
We'll hope for the best.
Mother? Please don't cry. It's all right, Annika. Go back to supper. I'd rather stay here. With you.
And now from London, a message from the Dutch Minister of Education, Mr. Gerrit Bolkestein.
History cannot be written on the basis of official documents alone. If our descendants are to understand what we as a nation have endured during these years, we need simple, everyday pieces. A diary, letters from a forced laborer in Germany.
I can't believe it. Did he really say a diary? I'll start revising it tomorrow. Maybe one day I can even publish a novel. The Secret Animals, based on my diary. Unless you write yourself, you can't know how wonderful it is. When I write, I shake off all my cares. But I want to achieve more than that. I want to be useful and bring enjoyment to all people, even those I've never met. I want to go on living, even after my death.
Mr. Dussel's getting awfully impatient out there.
Let him. I'm always waiting on him.
Are you going up to Peter's room again? You've already spent so much time up there today.
I went up exactly twice. Once to study French together, once to get potatoes for supper.
But you know every night, have deep, serious conversations with, and who knows what else. Yes, I'm jealous. But not of you and Peter. I just wish that I had someone of my own. I'm glad you have someone.
Mean it?
I want you to have a good time tonight. Every night. You've already missed out on so much here.
Margot, you're such a generous person. Besides, there's nothing to be jealous of. We don't do anything. He hasn't even kissed me.
The kiss will come.
I'm not sure I want it to.
Oh, you do. I know you. You can't help yourself. It's in your nature. Oh, wait. Let me fix your hair. There. Now you're ready.
Augustina may finally go into my room.
Our room, Mr. Dustin. And yes, you may return.
Thank you very much.
And again, and look at her. You better bundle up. It's cold in Peter's room. And mine, boys call on girls.
Young people like to feel like they have privacy. Peter's room is the only place they can talk.
Not what they called it in my day.
I think a little romance may be developing in our little atlas.
We're here much longer. We're going to have a little annex wedding.
Frankly, I can't take this chit-chat another minute. And be done by 9. They're so old-fashioned. Clearly, they don't understand how advanced we are.
You look nice.
Really?
I like the shoes. I always like the shoes.
Meat always does everything just right.
She likes you a lot.
I love her. But doesn't it make you miserable, having to be so dependent on someone?
I'm not miserable anymore. I mean, just bumping into you on the stairs sometimes, I feel like,
I feel the same.
you know, you've changed a lot. I used to think you were a real pain.
The girl I used to be seems utterly superficial. I wouldn't go back to being her for the world.
You sure know a lot about yourself, don't you? I guess that just comes from all that writing you do.
If I didn't write, I mean, get out everything I felt, I'd go insane. I want to be a real writer when we get out. I know I can do it. I'm my harshest critic. I guess it's just a matter of if I have any real talent. What do you want to do when you get out?
I don't know, something that doesn't take a lot of brains. I mean, maybe if I had your drive.
That's ridiculous.
No, really, I'm a complete moron.
You're too hard on yourself.
Well, I didn't really have much going on with me on the outside.
Yeah, but don't you miss Peter? I miss so many things. You know, sometimes I dream we're back in our old apartment. I wake up and wonder, why can't I run outside? But oh, Peter, you can't see the moon from here. Just like you said. Look at our place. The moonlight coming in. It's beautiful.
Are you cold?
No. Well, maybe a little.
Here.
Peter, have you ever kissed a girl?
Yeah, I guess so.
Tell me about it.
I mean, it wasn't a big deal or anything.
What happened?
It was my birthday, I was blindfolded, and I don't even know who the girl was.
Not that there's anything wrong with kissing people. Though I'm sure Margot would never kiss a boy unless she were engaged to him. And I'm sure Mother never touched a man before him. My friends would say, Anne, how shocking. But who cares what they would think? Everything's different now. Here.
You said this was our place. Do you really think it's ours?
I do.
You're not going to let them stop you from coming here, will you?
I won't, I promise. Maybe sometime I'll write one of my stories, read it to you.
You'll come tomorrow night?
If you want me to.
I do.
It's 9:05.
I will then.
Edith, go back to sleep.
The bread! My God, he's stealing our bread!
No, quiet! Herman, for God's sakes!
What's going on?
Your husband's stealing our bread!
That can't be. Hoodie, what's happening?
Never before! Never before!
I don't believe him. He does it once, he'll do it again. Every day I see our children getting thinner and thinner. And he comes in the middle of the night and steals food that should go to them.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Edith, please.
Mom, it's only a piece of bread.
Here.
No, he has to go.
Go? Go where?
Anywhere.
You don't mean what you're saying.
It'd be impossible.
Edith, you know how you've been these
That has
past
nothing to do with it.
It was a mistake. Could have happened to any one of us. It won't happen again.
Never, I swear.
No! I can't take it with them here. They have to go.
To the street?
There are other hiding places. We will find you something. Don't worry about the money. I can get you the money.
Mr. Frank, you said that you never forget what my husband did for you.
If my husband had any previous obligation to you, it is paid for.
Edith, for God's sakes, I've never seen you like this.
You can't throw Peter out. He hasn't done anything.
Peter can stay.
No, I wouldn't feel right without my parents.
Mother, please, they could be killed on the street.
Anne's right. You can't send them away. They can stay until he finds them something. But I don't want him near the food.
Let's divide it up right now.
We're not dividing up some rotten potatoes.
Mr. Frank, Mrs. Frank.
Stop,
Anne.
Mr. Russell. No
Margot.
more. No more, please, I beg you.
Mrs. Van Dam.
I can't bear it.
Mr. Van
All
Dam.
that's happening.
Peter.
Enough! Margot, Mr. Dussel, everyone, back to your rooms. Come in. Mr. Dussel, I think the potatoes can wait. Just let them wait!
People of Western Europe. A landing was made this morning on the coast of France by troops of the Allied Expeditionary Force. This landing is part of the concerted United Nations plan for the liberation of Europe, made in conjunction with our great Russian allies. I have this message for all of you. Although the initial assault may not have been made in your own country, the hour of your liberation is approaching.
Meet at this hour?
Everyone, the most wonderful, most incredible news.
What is it?
Invasion. The invasion has begun. Oh, did you hear me? The invasion me. You know what I've decided? To be a nurse. For newborns. Go far, far away. How far? I don't know. Maybe to Palestine. You could be back in school by October. September even. Wouldn't that be something, Annika?
Honey, you know what I was just thinking? I was just thinking about the first time we met. Remember that summer in Bremerhaven? You and all the boys were swarming around my house. I picked you out right away. You were the one who makes me laugh and laugh. And you took me out on that ferry ride, remember? And you made me laugh even more, and then you started to kiss me. And the kisses were even better than the laughter. You gave me so many that the ferryman couldn't keep his eyes off us. And he drove that ferry right off the course. And then, when we got back to shore, you made that little restaurant open its doors because you were so hungry. And you ordered almost everything on the menu. And the waiter came by and he said, man, that man can really eat. We'll go back there one day, Woody. I promise. And soon you'll be eating all of your old favorites again. Latkes with your cherished applesauce. But for now, Woody, if you're hungry, hold on to me. Hold on to me, Woody. Just as I was falling asleep, my friend Hannah appeared dressed in rags. Her face had been worn. She looked at me with such sadness in her eyes that I could read the message in them. Oh, Anne, why have you deserted me? Rescue me. Help me. Save me from this hell. If only I could. Why have I been chosen to live and you to die? Oh, Hannah-Lee. Hannah-Lee, if you ever return, I'll take you in. Share everything I have with you. Are you still alive? I keep seeing your enormous eyes. Keep seeing myself in your place. You are the reminder of what my fate could have been. What will we do if we're... No. No, I mustn't write that down. The thought won't go away. It looms before me in total absolute horror.
wasn't Jewish.
What?
I'm serious. Life would be so much easier if I were a Christian.
You mean you'd be baptized?
I don't know. Maybe.
I could never do that. Turn away from who I am? Don't you know you'll always be Jewish? Your soul.
I've never seen anything keep you from talking before.
It's a wonder I haven't abandoned all my ideals. They seem so absurd and impractical. Yet I cling to them because I still believe, in spite of everything, people are truly good at heart. It's utterly impossible to build my life on a foundation of fear. I see the world transformed into a wilderness. I hear the approaching thunder which will destroy us too. I feel the suffering of millions.
Westerbork. A barren heath. Wooden towers where our jailers stand guard. Walls covered with flies. The 8 of us crammed into Barrack 67. Betrayed. We never know by whom. Our last month together. Our last month. Peter and Ann holding hands between the barracks and the barbed wire. Edith worrying about the children washing their underclothing in murky water. Numb. Margot silent. Staring at nothing. Our last days on Dutch soil. September 3rd, 1944. Thousands of us are herded into cattle cars. The last transport to leave Westerbork for the extermination camps. The train. 3 days, 3 nights. In the middle of the third night, Auschwitz. Separation. Men from women. Edith. Margaret. And my family. Never again. Selection. More than half of our transport killed in the gas chambers. One day, Peter and I see a group of men march away, his father among them. Gassed. Peter on the death march to Mauthausen, dead 3 days before the British arrived. His mother, Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen, Buchenwald, and Theresienstadt. Date of death unknown. Mr. Dussel dies in Neuengamme. January 27th, 1945, I am freed from Auschwitz. I know nothing of Edith and the children, and then I learned Edith died in Birkenau of hunger, grief, exhaustion. Winter of 45, typhus breaks out in Bergen-Belsen, killing thousands of prisoners, among them Margot. Anne's friend Hannah Lee sees Anne through the barbed wire, naked, her head shaven, covered with lice. I don't have anyone anymore, she weeps. My daughter's bodies dumped into mass graves just before the camp is liberated. All that remains